What up, friends? I will never be found, and today we're going to be reviewing Purple Kiss's newest mini-album, Hide and Seek. Purple Kiss is a rookie K-pop girl group that debuted just last year. I actually reviewed their debut mini-album this year, Intro Violet, and while it was a bit rough around the edges, I do think it showed some promise into how unique the girls in this group can be with their foray into a sort of darker pop and rock aesthetic, actually. Hide and Seek, however, goes in a bit of a different direction. They still do have some of that dark pop aesthetic to them, however, they're kind of channeling it in a more 80s Michael Jackson thriller sort of way now. Their 80s synthpop and new wave aesthetic makes its way into some of the other tracks on this record as well, making for a different listen compared to their first mini, but also one that's more solid. Zombie is just a fantastic intro. The samples and sound effects are a perfect playful backdrop to some sweet vocals and groovy bass lines. That almost funk-influenced rhythm guitar is super fun, and that chorus is just infectious. I also really love the little ad-libs that they put on it. The way they pitch shift and cut the vocals here and there really add a lot to this song's playfulness, and goddamn, Yuki fucking bodied that rap verse, bro. She was already pretty good in Ponzona, but she's on another level here. I swear I'm hearing like Ellie from EXID in these flows, man. There's some pretty fun and engaging love-themed lyrics too, with the girls confidently picking whoever they want and going after them like a zombie. To be honest, this is probably one of the best songs that I've heard this year, actually. 2 a.m. is what happens when you listen to Anderson .Paak once. Seriously, those ad-libs and the background vocals are so Anderson that it hurts. They're good though. The song has that classic R&B groove to match, and I really like the addition of the subtle sax here and there. You don't really see that in a lot of K-R&B songs. Yukis Wrap fits in nicely, it has an elegant edge to it, and the girls' harmonies are silky smooth. There's great bass lines to go along with those warm drums, like this is a vibe. It also has a sort of longing, lovesick angle to the lyrics, which is perfect for a song like this. Especially when they're depicting someone just laying in their bed, going over the times that they had with that special person over and over. Then, holy shit, Casper Earls Before Swine is a hell of a mood change. That main synth line is so catchy, and the trap-flavored 808s give this song a bounce like no other on this project. And look no further than one of the catchiest choruses that I've heard in a while. There's a cool instrumental shift in Yuki's rap verse, and I really like how they tied some of the instrumentals in the chorus to the second verse. The synthpop elements on the pre-chorus are pretty well done, and they mesh with the general aesthetic of the track pretty well. I also love how in the lyrics the girls are just like, fuck love, and they're just completely done with it and doing their own thing now. I can actually see this being another group's title track, like it's that fun. With So Why, some laid-back riffs and bass lines are a great sort of electro-funk blanket over some smooth vocals. It almost has like an anti-chorus of sorts, being actually more low-key compared to the verses, however it does pick up in a pretty cool way. That funky little bass strum during Yuki's verse shows how playful they're being with this track and just this mini-album in general, and that's something that I like to see. I do wish the drums were a bit more impactful, and the pitch-shifted vocals that they use here during the samples, they're kind of a trope at this point, but other than that, the track is pretty solid. Twinkle starts off with a pretty fire guitar riff, but then they just take it away from me. The main synthpop beat is pretty generic, to be honest, and it just doesn't have nearly the impact as the instrumentals on the previous song. I really wish the guitar was more of a centerpiece rather than an accent piece, and overall the instrumental just kind of stays the same for the most part, with very few interesting switch-ups to speak of. It's not the worst track ever, however, it kind of sticks out in being below the bar on this mini-album. The imagery in the lyrics is fairly nice, however, the idea of comparing different things to stars is a bit played out at this point. We do have a great R&B jam to lead us out, though, in the form of ZzZz. That's probably not how you pronounce it, but that's how it's spelled. I really like those synth samples, and the background vocals have that sort of lullaby aesthetic to them. Nice delicate guitar, some varied flows from the girls. This is some smooth shit. They also proved yet again to be pretty well versed in the art of the chorus, because this is really sleek and the vocals are just excellent here. Purple Kiss have made some great slow songs in the past, and this is no exception. The lyrics are also pretty interesting in that it's sort of depicting like dealing with depression, not even wanting to get out of bed, check your phone, listening to your favorite songs. You don't always hear that from K-pop tracks, and I feel like this sense of isolation is pretty unique among their contemporaries, and it's a pretty powerful and interesting track that really stands out. Despite going for a different sound, Purple Kiss really seem to be taking this newfound 80s aesthetic in stride. Though I do miss their dark pop and rock sounds, it kind of feels like they know what to do with this aesthetic more, so I would really want them to hone in on this sound and flesh it out even further. Some tracks, however, felt noticeably out of place, like Twinkle and Cast Pearls Before Swine, even though I do really love that one. I think they need to leave the tropes and generic synth-pop stuff behind and really hone in on that 80s pop and new wave aesthetic. I think this will help them create a more concise project next time around. Overall, I'm feeling a strong 7 on Purple Kiss's Hide and Seek. Of course, we do have to talk about the album cover on this show, and this is an okay album cover. Honestly, my biggest pet peeve is just the black background. I feel like if they took that little Polaroid image and blew it up to where that's the background and then they have the same text over it, it would have been way better. But that's all I can really say because I think that would have fixed most of the problems for this cover, to be honest. Of course, those were just my thoughts on Purple Kiss's newest mini album. What do you guys think? Is Zombie Song of the Year? Did you like their other sound more, or is this 80s aesthetic doing it for you? Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me your opinions. I always forget to say that because it doesn't come to me. I think I said that in the last video too, because my brain is the size of a walnut. And until the next one, farewell.